Hey, welcome to Yo-Yo Talk and happy day before Friday. We've almost made it to the weekend. And while people are signing in, I am going to do my taste test. As you well know, this is my favorite drink, completely encased in black, so nobody knows what it is. And again, I'm waiting for my seven-figure offering from some big cola company to reveal what that drink is, preferably at the Super Bowl. So tonight I'm going to do the challenge here with another drink called Konjac Jelly. It's watermelon flavored and it's 5 calories. So we'll see if that equals my favorite drink. Oh, it is jelly. Okay, was not expecting that. Actually, not too bad either. Tastes like there was more sugar in it than 5 calories. So anyway, we've got a great show planned tonight. A little recap on what happened last week. We have to make the announcements after the show, as you know, for the different trivia contests, because those have to be checked with the time code. And as it has happened many times before, Tim Simcoe was the tentative winner for both the lightning round and the pop quiz. And historically, that means that somebody else won both of them. But not this time. Tim did manage to make the cut from the tentative winner to the official winner in the lightning round. As you may remember, that was the weight in grams of a Duncan tournament yo-yo. That was 49 grams. But Tim did not win the grand prize, which is consistent with what is usually going on with him. And we are going to start referring to the tentative winners as Simcoes until the final official winner is announced. Because I have now lost track of how many times Tim has been the tentative winner and then lost in the time code check. John Maishral ended up winning the official winner for the grand prize, knowing the production date of the Duncan, well, the last production date of the MG as 2014. And then, of course, the artist of that painting was John Higbee. Okay, Sean, let's jump right in as people are checking in and see what's in our prize package for tonight in the pop quiz.
Let's
Sean,
take a
go on and
look
roll
at
that.
tonight's prize package. This is for the pop quiz at the end of the show. Oh, there is a empty plastic baggie in the picture there. I'm just glad it's not full of drugs. That would have been embarrassing. Okay, let's see. We've got a Lucky's Collector's Guide to 20th Century Yo-Yos and a Doc Lucky Yo-Yo and a Yomega Fireball Yo-Yo. That is the collector's edition. If you are familiar with that one came out in around 1998, I think. I call that one the radial saw fireball because the fire looks kind of like a saw blade there. That's a little bit of a rare one. It was only produced for a short period of time, and its logo is different from all the other fireballs, so definitely one to have. But not that expensive when you look at what they go for on eBay, probably around 20 bucks. But nice to have in your collection. A lot of people don't know what it is. Okay, right down here lower is a Festival Hockey Puck Yo-Yo. That's a plastic yo-yo. It's early 70s. It's almost 50 years old. There's a whole series of those. I personally am a soft water hockey player. I like to play hockey under the water. This is for the hard water hockey enthusiast, which play it on solid water. So nice little yo-yo. Those generally will run you around 25 bucks on eBay. Here next to it, we have a Dick Tracy yo-yo. This is from 1990. It's merchandising from the Disney film Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy, of course, goes back to the 1930s comic strip, but this was a stylized film by Disney where they tried to make it look like comic art. It had Warren Beatty in it, Madonna, Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, Dick Van Dyke, so it's star-studded. And usually when you have a star-studded film, they are kind of quasi-okay. So that's the way I remember the film, but I haven't watched it in 30 years, so maybe I need to take a relook. But the yo-yo will set you back about 15 bucks, so it's cheaper just to watch the film. And this yo-yo is another Disney merchandising yo-yo from a film called The Lion King. It's a Spectra Star yo-yo. It's plastic and sculpted. That came out in the mid-90s. That is Simba on the front of the yo-yo. And the reason I know that is because my son was about 2 when the VHS tape came out. And that is the only film he would watch before he went to bed at night. So I have watched that film at least 200 times. And as an adult, he doesn't even remember the film. I hope one day he has a child of his own. And on that child's second birthday, guess what they're going to get? The VHS tape, The Lion King. Payback is hell. And there is a Duncan butterfly. Those usually go in around the $30 range on card. We've got several other scattered yo-yos around here. There's a Chicago Twister. They'll sell in the $20 range. That's a wooden Duncan top from the 60s. See an Alox, what's there? There is a Jesus Loves You yo-yo, which is appropriate because our guest tonight is a minister too, as well as being a phenomenal yo-yo player. There's some other tops there. There's a BC Classic yo-yo. I see a Duncan Butterfly, more recent version. So what is the price on this prize package for this evening? Let's calculate it. Wow, $205. So good luck to everybody later on the show for our pop quiz. Good luck even to the Nickinator because he was shut out last week and he's feeling pretty low.
Okay, I see we've got several famous folks out there that have already checked in. Judah Schultz, and I saw Bob Rule, and Chuck Short, and Tim Simcoe. And even the Nickinator and the Dano the Mano have come back. They've all healed from their wounds from last week. And speaking of famous yo-yo people, Dick Storr sent me some photos of a couple of yo-yos from his massive collection. And he was trying to identify them, and I'm afraid I wasn't much help, but I am sure our viewers out there can help in giving a little history on these two particular yo-yos. Let's see, there we go. There's a Buzz-On, I assume that's a Buzz-On yo-yo. It has an AYYA logo, and I would assume since it's Buzz-On based on the inscriptions, and it might be a transitional yo-yo considering there's that swirl plastic in there. And if anyone would hazard a guess on what the value of that yo-yo is or any history on it, let us know. And this one is, he thought it might be an unmarked spintastic ellipse, but I'm pretty sure the ellipses had a brass metal weight ring around the edge. So if anybody out there knows what that is, I don't know if that's some kind of prototype or not, let us know, and thanks, Dick, for sending those photos in. So interested to see what the comments are on those two yo-yos. You may also remember we had fight night between the Nickinator and Dano the Mano last week. The Vegas odds makers had the Nickinator winning 20-1, but they were wrong. Dano the Mano put the Nickinator down for the count. The Wheel of Pain delivered a great fight. It was the 10 spins followed by Rock the Baby that put the Nickinator on the mat for the loss. The Nickinator camp has already filed a grievance with the Yo-Yo Fight Commission demanding a rematch. And if this happens, it will be hyper expensive on pay-per-view, but you will be able to watch it on Yo-Yo Talk for free. So that's maybe coming up next. Maybe they're citing out be another Thriller in Manila. You never know. So tonight we have another special guest, a legendary yo-yo player and a demonstrator, Hall of Famer inductee, National Grandmaster, and minister, Dennis McBride. He will be preaching the gospel of the yo-yo tonight. So I am sure you will have lots of questions for him. So please be typing them in right now so we have them ready to go when he comes on live in just a few minutes. So, and speaking of legends, next week we are going to start the process of taking nominations for the next round of inductees into the Yo-Yoing Hall of Fame. The 2020 inductees is what we're looking at. We will be posting the link to nominate noteworthy individuals to the Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. The nomination process is easy and anybody can nominate anyone, but the final vote pool will be only from individuals that have been admitted to the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts. So I suspect we will have a large number of nominations. I can think of at least 15 or 20 people that are worthy just off the top of my head. But we are only going to induct 3 a year, and that has been traditional in the past. And our executive committee will cull the nominations down to approximately 10, but the top 3 nominations in total number will automatically be put in that final voting pool. So if somebody that maybe the community doesn't think might be worthy, but a lot of people do, we'll take a closer look at those, and those will go into the final 10. But we're asking everybody to only nominate one individual, and then the final voting will occur amongst the members of the Academy of Yo-Yoing Arts. So to nominate somebody, you just have to fill out the form, and we will have that link on Yo-Yo Talk next week, and we will put the link out on other Facebook pages as well. But again, just to actually vote on the final 10 for culling it down to the actual 3 that get in, you will need to be a member of the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts Facebook group. So now we are about ready for our lightning round, but before I give out the lightning round question, we got to know what everybody's playing for. And in honor of our special guest, Dennis McBride, we are giving out a very unique item. It is a hummingbird yo-yo, and it is his signature model. It's been autographed by the legend himself. It's not this yo-yo that you're seeing. That one is in my collection. If you'll notice, the date on there is from '93. That's from the very first Modern Nationals, and we met for the first time there. So I don't have the yo-yo in hand that you're getting. It's actually in the mail to me, but you are going to get something very similar to that. And the other thing we are going to do is we are going to give you a nice addition to that. That's the Disney yo-yo. Can you roll that one there? There it is. This is interesting because not only is this a Disney yo-yo, but our guest has a connection with Disney, which you're going to hear about in a few minutes. The guys from the Yo-Yo Cart gave me this. They no longer sell this yo-yo. It's been taken off the shelves, and I have never seen one of these actually go up for auction on eBay. They're incredibly hard to find, especially in the package, because as soon as people bought them at the parks, they took them out of the package and started playing with them. So this is going to be a really neat collectible, and if you're like me and like to cross collectibles and character stuff, this is going to be a great win to pick this one up. So just a reminder, in the lightning round, the first person to answer the question correctly is our tentative winner, or our Simcoe. We will not know our official winner until we have checked the time code at the end of the show. So let's jump right into that lightning round question. Sean, roll that baby. What year was this yo-yo released? What year was this yo-yo released? And you will notice it is not actually a crackle paint finish. It is a fake crackle finish. And this is not actually manufactured by Duncan or Duncan Flambeau. This was actually a series made by Franklin Mint. And this is arguably better looking yo-yo than the original Lightning yo-yo. So if you're typing in the original date of the Lightning yo-yo, you would be wrong. This is the reproduction model. So, we getting some answers in there, Sean? They should be coming in pretty quick here. Still waiting on answers on that. Again, this is a reproduction of the Lightning. It is not the original Lightning, which came out in the 50s. So if you're answering in the 1950 decade, you are not correct. Both of these are highly collectible yo-yos, whether you get the original one or
look, we got one.
Oh, we got one. Who is our Simcoe or tentative winner tonight for the lightning round?
Our tentative Simcoe of the week is going to be Judith Schultz.
Judith Schultz. All right. Congratulations to Judith. She has a little bit of an advantage because she is a museum curator of tops and yo-yos, so she knows these type of things. But she is our Simcoe for the evening, or our tentative winner, because we won't know the official winner until after we check the time code. So congratulations, Judith. I hope it holds out to make you the official winner at the end of the show, and good luck. So tonight we have as our guest a yo-yoing legend. He is in the Hall of Fame. He is a National Grand Master. He is the recipient of the Harvey Lowe Lifetime Achievement Award. It is the amazing Dennis McBride. Welcome, Dennis.
It's great to be here, Lucky. Listening to all your accolades, I feel very, very honored and very old.
Well, it's great having you on the show. Now, I mentioned before when we were talking about the lightning round and that Disney yo-yo that you have a Disney connection, and it's really an amazing experience. It's one of those great stories that you get to tell over and over again, and especially for the older viewers that remember back in the early days of Disney. Now this story goes back, folks, to 1955 when they were actually opening Disney. So tell me about what happened there.
Well, my mentor, Connie Scarlett Mitroff, and I were hired by Duncan, actually by Disney, to appear in the three-dimensional movie, which was state-of-the-art at the time, for the opening of the Mickey Mouse Club Theater at Disneyland Park in Anaheim. And so we spent a week with the Mouseketeers, the original Mouseketeers, in a trailer doing schoolwork and then filming. And that was, I still have the check stub from that. About $150 for a kid in 1955. That was a landslide. But it was a fantastic thing. And of course, big man on campus for about a minute and a half, because I actually hobnobbed with the original Mouseketeers. But that was my first connection with Disneyland. And of course, it was great going out and seeing that movie. I wish I could get a hold of a copy of it now to see. But I don't think... If anybody
comes across that, we would love for you to let us know. And I'm going to still try to contact some Disney folks I know and see if they might be able to get in the archives and come up with that, because that would be absolutely cool. And
I'd like to see that.
I don't think a lot of the younger viewers can appreciate, but the Mouseketeers were unbelievably huge. Everybody knew it was like the monkeys, and all the kids at the time knew their names, knew who they were. Right. They had all the merchandising and all that. So that was really cool to be part of that. Hey, Sean, did we get any questions from any of the viewers for Dennis right now?
Yes, we do.
Oh, so shout out some of those questions for us.
We got Judith Schultz with the first one. It's Dennis, first yo-yo story.
What was that?
Judith Schultz wants to know what your first yo-yo story is, going back to the beginning when you first picked up. What would be your first interesting story from playing the yo-yo?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the stories that I remember the most about the early years was learning Reach for the Moon. And I would stand in front of our little space heater in our home, and there were nicks in the ceiling from where I would, hit it inadvertently, of course. And your viewers, your listeners won't really understand this, except the older ones, but telephones were a novelty at the time. We had just gotten our first telephone. This would have been probably 1954-ish. And the phone rang, and I was practicing Reach for the Moon, and the phone rang, and my mother, bless her heart, said, "Dennis, it's for you." Well, I'd never received a telephone call in my life. And so I said, "For me," and I looked over, and that yo-yo came down, hit me right in the eye, gave me a black eye, literally. And then my dear mom said, "No, just kidding." So, and that actually happened, and it really hurt.
Yeah.
But my earliest my beginnings when I went to Connie Scarlett. She was a neighbor and a good friend of our family. Our mothers went to school together, and I asked her if she would teach me how to yo-yo because she was the California girls champion for
Right.
I don't know how many years in a row, 4 or 5 anyway, until she had to retire at the ripe old age of 15. But she was 2 years older than I. I asked her if she'd teach me, and she said, "Yeah, I'll teach you if you'll practice." Oh, well, there's a catch to it then.
Yeah.
But she's the one who got me started. And at that time, Duncan had contests every February. And we'd have contests at the playground level, and the boy and girl champion would get together from all the schools for their city championship. And then all the city winners would get together for the regional.
And this
and
would
then
be
for the
Bob Allen then running those.
Yes, it's under Bob Allen. The Parks and
Sean,
Recreation Department.
show the
sponsored it.
picture of Bob Allen. We got a picture there of him and Dennis.
Oh, you did your homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
There
Bob
we go.
Allen, yeah, Bob Allen was a
Is
wonderful.
is that Connie Scarlett off to the left?
I can't see the picture, but it probably is.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're there with a trophy, and I'm pretty sure that's her.
Yeah, it would be
Looks
Bob.
like it's a pretty good shield, pretty high level there, whatever you won. So that's Bob Allen,
probably-
of course, is in the Yo-Yo Hall of Fame as well. So quite a famous
Yeah,
promoter.
if there are trophies involved, it was a regional contest.
Well, it's a
And then from there we
shield-shaped
went-
plaque, one of those shield-shaped
Pardon?
plaques.
Okay, yeah, it was a regional contest. For the city contest, we got yo-yos and yo-yo string, and then the typical sweaters with the dated patches on them.
Right.
In fact, my first one is behind me. And it's dated
Oh, nice,
1955. So
Now, did you ever win one of the bicycles or anything big like that?
yes, bicycles and radio, they were the runner-up prizes for the California State. The winner got $500 scholarship, which, this is the 1950s. That was a
Yeah,
huge
that's a lot
amount
of
of
money.
money. The runners-up got $250.
Wow.
Those who did not place, everyone who came and competed got either a transistor radio, which were state of the art, or a bicycle. Well, of course, I took the Schwinn bike, and that was a great prize. That was
Do
my
you still have that bike?
contest. No, I don't.
Oh, that's too bad.
I don't remember what happened to it, but somebody probably stole it.
Now, you're probably best known actually in the whole yo-yo community because you were one of the first ones that really went out and produced how-to videos back on VHS. There's a couple of your old VHS videos we're showing right now. How did that all come to be? What got you started producing those videos?
Well, in 1988, I was hired by an independent merchandiser who lived in Hawaii, and for some reason, a yo-yo, kind of a mini breakout of yo-yos started, and she bought hundreds, probably thousands of yo-yos from Duncan, but she needed a demonstrator, so she hired me to come over for the 4th of July weekend. So we spent 3 days going around to all of the islands except Molokai and going to the pay and save stores and doing demonstrations. And I realized that there were no instructional tools other than the little Duncan book that had been around for a lot of years. So when I got back, I had a friend who worked for Universal Studios. And so he got us into a sound stage, and I worked out a script for the first yo-yo video that I did because I wanted to have a tool to be, teachers like to have students that go excel beyond them. And at that time, some of the original Duncan demonstrators were dying, and several had died. And because of the way they held their special tricks close to their vest, some of those tricks died with them. And I thought, this isn't good. This isn't good for the perpetuation of the sport. I wanted whatever I knew to give it to others. So that was really my primary motivation. So we did that video, and then sometime later, Alan Nagao from THP from Hawaii got a hold of that, and that's really what started it for me. He called and ordered 100 of them, which I hadn't sold 100 of them total up to that time. And he hired me to come to Hawaii, and that was the connection with Alan Nagao and what became THP. But that's
And
how
that
the
was in
video
the late
started.
90s, right?
No,
97?
well, THP was, yeah.
Right.
My first connection with Alan was probably um, maybe even 10 years before that.
Oh, really?
In
Oh,
the
okay.
in the
So
early
it took a
90s.
while for that all. Sean, yeah, so we, in the yo-yo community, I think everybody kind of agrees that that big craze in 98 and 99 kind of,
Yeah.
The focal point of that craze was THP, and it kind of started in Hawaii, then spread out to the United States and Japan and all that. Can Sean
Right.
show that picture from, there we go, there's Team High Performance from 1997, and some awful famous yo-yoers in that photo there. So that was kind of the start of the THP, and you were kind of the main guy there teaching those young kids. Did you work on the choreographing and all that and the stuff that they did?
Well, I was one of the guys. You said Chuck Short is with you tonight. Hi, Chuck. Chuck was one of them as well. There were a number of people that Alan hired. I was one of the first ones that he hired because I had been around forever, and there weren't a whole lot of two-handed players at that time. And he wanted these kids in Hawaii to learn how to yo-yo top notch, and so he hired a bunch of us to go over and help train them. So I was really privileged to be part of that, and I had some time. I was between ministries, and so Carol, my late wife, and I ended up working for Alan for 3 years until the yo-yo boom died in 2000. But that was just a remarkable time working with those kids and meeting all of the people that we met. But yeah, and Alan is a remarkable marketeer, and I learned a great deal from him. But anyway, it was a really magical time.
So what if you had to pick one yo-yo right now as your favorite throw, what would you say it would be?
Well, I have
yo-yo.
two favorites. I just happen to have my working briefcase.
Good.
If you can
Good.
see that. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Ah, nice. Nice.
Anyway, some of these date back to the 40s. Yes, they did have yo-yos then. But my favorite, to answer your question, I have two, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing just two-handed tricks is primarily what I do.
Yes.
I like the hyper warps. Now these date back to the late 90s.
Right.
For string tricks, I like the hyper warp butterfly.
Oh yeah, great.
But these are actually very heavy yo-yos, but I tend to be strong. Of course, now that I'm older and my fingers are not as nimble or young as they used to be, it's a little bit harder. But anyway, these obviously those two yo-yos are from the 90s, and I've been using them now for all of those years, not just those two, but that brand. So that's the long answer to your short question of what is my favorite throw, and that's the hyper warp.
And if, looking at your collection now, do you have a favorite collectible or one that has particular meaning to you that you could point out as?
Well,
yep,
the collection on the wall in back of me are those. You know, I don't know that I have a favorite because most of them remind me of special people that I've met over the course of my yo-yo career. And so when I see them, I don't necessarily see just the art of the yo-yo. I see people. And that's what makes them special the most. Probably, if I had to pick a favorite, it would have to go to one of Tom Kuhn's. I have one that's not a prototype, but is very early, and so I really enjoy that. But I have a number of Tom Kuhn's and a number of Bird in Hand that date back to the 80s and bring back some really special memories.
Now, on those videos that you were doing, it looked like one of them you were playing with a wood yo-yo. I assumed it was one of the Tom Kuhn's. Most of your videos were done with fixed axle yo-yos, were they not?
Yeah, they were all done with fixed axle, except the string trick videos. But see, I did the first video, I called it the Yoyo video, KNOW. I thought it was clever. It's kind of weird though. But anyway, then we did Carol and I filmed 4 instructional videos where I broke it down, string tricks, two-handed tricks, and so on. And then when I was working with Alan at THP in '98, he wanted to do a high-end professional set. And so we did 4 more videos.
Cool.
So now we have 9 videos of all kinds, I mean, hundreds of tricks.
Yeah, well, you have certainly taught many a yo-yo player from those videos, and those videos, many of them are online right now on YouTube. You can just go in there and find out from the master right there on YouTube. So, but folks can still buy your DVDs, right? I mean, they're still.
I still have some, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So, they can go to yoyomaster.com and it'll give you the information.
Okay, great. So yeah, it's you cover it all. Anybody that's just getting into the sport can certainly benefit from those videos. Those are you go from the basic tricks to some pretty complex stuff. So, well, hey, yeah. Dennis, it's been really great having you on the show. I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing all those great stories. We definitely need to get you back on in the future. So thanks so,
I would enjoy that.
For
Look,
coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, well, I enjoy doing it just like I know you enjoy teaching and throwing the yo-yos. So, yeah. Okay, folks, it's now that time in our show when we do our pop quiz. Just to remind everybody of the rules, there will be 2 questions. You must answer both questions in the same comment. To win, the first person that gives the correct answer, or correct answers per se, will be the tentative winner or Simcoe. You will not be certified as the official winner until we check the time code at the end of the show. So over half the time, the tentative winner ends up not being the official winner, so heads up on that. Sean, let's go on and run the pop quiz. Good luck to everybody tonight, even the Nickinator.
Doc Lucky's Pop Quiz. 1 shot, 1 champion. First to answer both questions in the Facebook comments wins. Get ready.
What was the last year Flambeau stopped using the hot stamp process on the Imperial Yo-Yo seals? There's one off to the right there. And what brand is this yo-yo ball? That's from Chicago Fair, it looks like. Chicago Fair. Back in the 50s, this was a popular item. Not as good as a real yo-yo, but this is a specific brand. So what was the last year Flambeau stopped using the hot stamp process on the Imperial Yo-Yo? That hot stamp process is where they had a hot stamp that imprinted the logo. So the logo is kind of, what is it, embossed or debossed into the seal there. If you run your finger over that seal, you'll feel the grooves in where the logo is. And then right after this year, they stopped it and it just became a flat seal on those. And that is a yo-yo ball. So we will see who gets those 2 correct answers. I know people are looking up those really quick or just throwing out random answers too. So
still waiting on them answers to come through. I don't even have a single guess yet. Not even
we haven't even had any guesses come through yet. Come on, guys. You're slipping. We sure the Nickinator hasn't even gotten something out there yet? I would be surprised. Maybe he just got stunned from last week's fight night. He's still in shock from that spinning around in his chair there and trying to do that rock the baby. He's got his brains all a swirl. He's had a bad run here the last few episodes. He's due for a big win, I think. We getting any answers in there, Sean?
We are getting answers, but we're not getting the
So
right
it was,
ones.
tell me some of the answers that are coming in.
Yeah, we got John Marshall coming in 1975 in HEP. It's just not it.
Not it.
Oh, wait, we have one.
Well, we got a correct answer. We have a Simcoe.
So-
that means a tentative winner.
The official Simcoe of the pop quiz is actually going to be John Marshall.
Okay, John Marshall. Very good. He's been in that position before. We will see if he is going to succeed in going from being our tentative winner or our Simcoe to the actual winner at the end of the show when we check the timeline. So congratulations, John. Good luck to you. But I know the Nickinator probably already has some answers in too that are hidden from our eyes, but we'll see. We'll see how that turns out at the end of the show. So anyway, next week, we've got another great guest as always. This is actually the first time we've had a female as our guest on the show. She is a former world champion, yo-yo demonstrator, professional yo-yo player, and all-around nice gal, Jennifer Baybrook. We'll be talking with Jennifer and see what's been going on with her over the last few years, and we'll be doing some more stuff. Folks, don't forget to sign up for the Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk Facebook group, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. That's Doc_Lucky's_yo-yo_talk. On Instagram, I post a yo-yo every day, and I can assure you checking your Instagram is much better than watching the news. It's going to make you a lot more happy. And you guys and gals know who those people are that need to be in the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts. That will be our voting pool for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. We want everybody to go in and join that is worthy. And finally, be looking for next week. That's when we are going to put out the link that you can start nominating people for the National Yo-Yoing Hall of Fame. And it will definitely be in Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk group page. You'll find it there for sure, and then we'll get it out on some of the other yo-yo pages as well. And as always, remember, you can never have too many yo-yos. This is Doc Lucky signing off until next week.